Coming up on this episode of Brody Even Talk Pinball, we're going to go over news and updates.
We're going to give our top 10 pinball machines from the 90s.
That's all you're getting. All this and no more coming right up.
Double super jackpot!
I need a ramp. I need a loop. I want targets I can hit. I need the scoop. I need a double super jackpot in my life. That's right.
And now, the Hall & Oates of pinball podcasting, Nick Lane and Kevin Manny of Buffalo Pinball. Ooh, boom shakalaka.
What's up, pinball players? Nick Lane, Kevin Manny. Kevin's on it. Kevin's turned into a morning radio DJ.
It's a morning zoo right now.
Yeah, he's got six buttons on
I got
his
a new
Steam Deck.
toy, so I can...
Oh, you have more than six. There's 6 buttons, but yeah, he's having fun.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
One more. There you go.
All right.
I had to get that out of my system.
You've probably been looking forward to this podcast, knowing that you had that.
Last night, I was like setting up all the sounds. I was like, this is going to be good.
I think you mentioned that to me before, all right?
Yeah.
We've talked about it.
Stream Deck.
It's been a while, though, so out of sight, out of mind. Well, what's going on? It's Monday, June 10th.
It is.
It's we didn't have a podcast in May. We're sort of off schedule.
May 2nd actually was our podcast, but we're kind of behind.
Okay, but that's okay because sometimes things are slow. And one of our policies, sort of with this, is we try to do a monthly podcast because we feel like that's enough. We never try to force the issue and just do BS. So that's our commitment to you. Value your time. Thanks for listening.
Happy summer, man.
Happy summer. It doesn't feel like summer. Let's talk about the weather. It's like 65 degrees tomorrow.
Well, there
it's
you
like
go.
in the 60s.
It's Buffalo.
All right. Anyways,
That's your weather on the 10.
You guys didn't come here for the Buffalo weather update. Let's go into our partner thanks.
Let's do that.
And then we'll get on with the show. So I guess I'll keep the momentum going. Shout out to Comet Pinball, maker of LEDs, cometpinball.com. Double Danger Pinball swag, pinball shirts, also Buffalo Pinball merchandise. Get it while you can. That's at ddpinball.com. The Mod Couple, themodcouplepinball.com is the site you want to go to. Plenty of mods. It's increasing all the time in terms of the mods. They have pinball machines.
They just got a whole bunch of new Wonka mods. So
they are our favorite mod company, not just because they're a sponsor, but they're actually fantastic. Kevin's got pretty much every mod known to man for his Pirates of the Caribbean, and I need to order myself a monkey. So.
Yeah, you do.
All right, I'll get
them while they're hot.
Flipping out pinball, flip N as a Nick out pinball.com. That is Zach Meny from Straight Down the Middle. YouTube channel. I think this is his way of getting us to give them a plug as well, but God bless them. We love them.
Are you flipping out?
I flip out for pinball sometimes. Sometimes I more or less flip out when I play pinball.
I've seen it. Yeah, I can confirm.
Anyways, Zach at Flipping Out Pinball. Zach knows his stuff. He'll take care of you. He sells Stearns, Jersey Jack, American Pinball, God knows what else. He's got it all. Check it out.
All the stuff.
Sponsor Pinside. Pinside joins the ranks of sponsoring us.
Our podcast exclusive sponsor.
That's right. Learned so much from Pinside. Check it out. They got top 100 games. They have way more than 100, but they have the top of that. You can add your collection on there. You can go to the forums, get advice, start arguments with perfect strangers. It's great.
It'll remind you when you need to replace your batteries in your pinball machines too. It's very easy.
It's awesome. It's a very, very well done site, and we had the pleasure of meeting Robin last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Came out and was on Bro.
That was awesome. That was a pleasure. Never thought that would happen. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Jersey Jack Pinball, maker of Wizard of Oz, Hobbit, Dialed In, Pirates of the Caribbean, and the brand new Willy Wonka. Most beautiful pinball machines on the planet. You can order games from them as well directly. People ask sometimes, where do I get a Jersey Jack game? Well, you can get it from them. There you go. Get it straight from the factory. Pinball.edu. Head over to pinballraffle.org. That is Joe Said out in Baltimore, Maryland. He is a certified autism specialist. He is running an arcade center also geared towards children of autism. It's also open to the public so that you can keep the lights on and keep it going. And for $40 a month, you can have a chance of winning your own pinball machine. And he only sells 250 of those, so that's a pretty good, actually. Community Beer Works, communitybeerworks.com. Check it out, Buffalo, New York. My favorite they're not even nano brewery. My favorite brewery in Buffalo, New York. Delicious beer. Pin Stadium, pinstadium.com. Makes lighting kits controlled by your phone. LED lighting kits trouble your phone.
Now he has the new hover, which makes you don't have to stick them to the side of the cabinet. Now you can attach them to the playfield.
He is always innovating.
So you don't have to take them off when you lift the playfield.
Awesome. Once you get one of those lighting kits on your machine, you're going to ruin it for yourself because then you're going to want it for all your machines. So
it's good for Scott, though.
Be forewarned, an amazing product. And he's crushing. He won, once again, 2 years back-to-back Mod of the Year. So that's pinstadium.com. Pinball Arcade. Pinball Arcade makes virtual recreations of real pinball machines. I think they were saying the other day that their license for AC/DC is run out or is running out. So if it's not too late, grab it ASAP.
I think it's 50% off, too.
There you go. Pinballmix.com. Pinballmix.com, I would say, is the hottest new, let's call it a mod, right?
Yeah.
He prefers to be called
it's
mod.
It's software mod.
Yeah. Think of it as a mod because it is a very, very cool mod for your pinball machine. I'm a big audio guy in terms of it can kind of sway me in terms of how much I like a machine. And with pinballmix.com, if you ever wanted custom music in your pinball machine, but you didn't want to mess around with doing it yourself, and believe me, you can do it yourself. There's a lot of do-it-yourself people, but it's hard to get the levels right to sound good. So a lot of times when I hear people who've done it themselves, it doesn't sound great. All right, pinballmix.com. He'll do it for you. He's done probably now over 30, 40 mixes. He spends a lot of time on it. And once he does it, he'll give it to you. You tell him what you like. Fantastic. I mean, it came out better than I ever thought when I got a mix done. Kevin got a mix done. Can't recommend it enough.
If you want collective soul in your pinball machine, he can make it happen.
He can make it happen. And sound really good.
Yeah.
That's the key. All right, and last but not least, Titan Pinball, one of the original sponsors way back in the day. TitanPinball.com makes silicone rings, makes awesome rubber mats to stand on, and some other swag as well. Check it out. A lot of these partners, they have coupon codes. You can save anywhere between 10, 15%. Just type in Buffalo. We've kept it simple. You use Buffalo, you get a discount.
That's right.
All right.
Wait, we got a question in chat from Jared Cool Dude. He said, "Hey, Nick and Kevin, are you so excited for Pirates of the Caribbean on Wednesday with Skip Natty?" And the answer is yes.
So excited. I didn't even know it was happening.
So, well, now you can get excited. Now
right.
everybody at home can get excited, too.
Yeah, he's been blowing up games, too, right? He blew up all the reactors recently.
He crushed Total Nuclear Annihilation, defeated Reactor 9, and he got like 7 million
TNA?
On Pirates. Yes, TNA.
Okay. All right. And it's all, you can see his TNA blow up on our YouTube channel, which is Buffalo Pinball.
Imagine that.
YouTube.com/Buffalo Pinball. There you go. Very easy to find. All right. I've done a lot of talking. I'm going to kick over to news and updates, starting with Kevin.
But first, we're going to start with Tim Kitzrow.
Here's the tip. It's the latest pinball news. So hot, it's on fire.
It's on fire. It's the pinball news. All right. So we're going to kick it off with some updates from Stern Pinball. It's going to be our Batman 66 Catwoman edition. How hyped are you for Catwoman edition of Batman?
Not hyped.
The first 100 come with, wait, I need to read this verbatim because the grammar drives me nuts. So it says, first 100 games produced come with an authentic Chops autographed card by Julie Newmar.
Okay.
Yeah. Julie Newmar didn't make the card, though. She autographed it.
Okay.
Grammar.
Maybe there's now with the code where it needs to be, maybe there's a demand, so it makes sense to kind of rerun this game. And it's one of those things that if they had typical Stern pricing, maybe I'd be a lot more interested in it, but just does nothing for me at its current pricing model.
Oh yeah, so it's fun. It actually does not look that different, like cabinet art wise.
No, you're right.
The only real difference is the translate is different, and then the sides of the head are different.
It's so funny, honest to God. Like you can walk past that, or you could be playing it and just not know it's any different.
Yeah.
And like if no one told you there was a Catwoman version or whatever, and you were custom the other one, yeah, unless you own it and you've seen it every day, you probably wouldn't notice anything.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's good that now that they're rerunning it, now that the code's at 1.0, there's probably more demand for it. So I'm glad they're able to get some more of those games out there because people tend to like it. I mean, it's a alignment game, right? So
yeah,
you're gonna get some awesome rules. The layout, we've talked about it in the past, isn't my favorite, but it's unique at least.
Man, speaking of lineman game, I mean, I just want another lineman game. That's not a boutique game, right? Like that.
Yeah. Rumor is he's doing one of the ones we're gonna talk about.
We're gonna head over. All right, so we'll come back.
So
to that.
we'll talk more lineman later. But
right.
Next, let's talk about Stern's other update, which was they're doing the Munsters Premium now in color. So it's what everybody wanted from the beginning. They had the black and white premium and the color LE and made everybody pick between one or the other. And if you wanted color, you had to go LE. And now the LEs are sold out.
That's what's been holding that game
They're
back.
doing it. Is it? Is it though?
Sarcasm.
So everybody jump in the sarcasm, everybody. Yeah. So I guess, you got more options. If you want a premium Munsters, you can get it in black and white or color. Honestly, I think the black and white looks really awesome in
Me too.
person.
That's one of my favorite things about that game. I mean, it is actually my favorite thing about the game. The black and white premium looks really good.
Yeah.
Really, really striking game.
Yeah. So, they continue to run their pinball machines, and there you go. If you want a Munsters color premium, now you can get it. All right. Back to our slideshow. We're going to go to Willy Wonka. So the big news in Wonka Land is that they've been on tour. It's been at Allentown, New York City Pinball Championships, the Northwest Show, and huge news is that they hit their deadline, and their standards are on the line right now. So they're producing the first 150, and the first 100 are alleged to go on location. This is all according to what I've read on Pinside. So this is not officially from the company, but through distributors and things like that. That's what they've been posting on Pinside. So
Good. That's all great news.
awesome to hear. So good job on them.
And we got somebody locally getting one.
Yes.
So
hopefully I'll be doing an unboxing of that once it comes.
Nice.
And we'll do some streams. That'll be a good summertime stream from the bros.
So it could be summertime. It could be a couple within next month or so.
Yeah,
you
he's
think?
getting an LE though, so it might be a little longer.
Okay. All right.
We'll see. But when it hits, we'll be playing it. Oh, so this is what we were talking about with Lyman. It's a little cut off here in the display, but Elvira in her fan club email, she announced that finally the latest pinball machine from Stern is finally due out this October. If you thought Party Monsters and Scared Stiff were good, wait till you get a load of this, baby.
Okay.
Nothing but pure blood-curdling fun. Yours cruelly, Elvira. So we've known about this for years, right? They announced it like 2 or 3 years ago at Texas, I want to say. Probably kind of ahead of the when they normally would, just because Elvira was there. But October, get your wallets out for Elvira, maybe. But this is the one that's allegedly being done by Lyman. So
Okay.
if it's a Lyman game with a Nordman layout,
Yep.
it's got potential to be a success.
Yeah. I'm interested.
Yeah. I mean, I like me some Elvira. Do you think it's going to be toned down
When was
innuendo wise?
I mean, what's the point? I mean, that's her brand.
Right.
Her brand is innuendo,
Right.
right? So why would you tone it down?
Yeah.
Like, you might as well not do Elvira then.
Agreed.
What is the point? Mm-hmm. So yeah.
We'll keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll streaming it after it comes out, and we'll show you what's going on with Elvira. And I mean, obviously October makes sense for Elvira, so
Right.
keep an eye out for that.
Okay.
All right. Moving right along, Cosmic Carnival. We played this at Texas Pinball Festival, and we quote unquote played it. It was a flipping playfield with no rules.
Yeah. Let's leave it at that.
So as of 2 weeks ago, they offered up a production update that said our first 10 cabinets are either finished or close to finished. We have all parts for the first 5 machines in-house, and parts for the next 5 are in-house or ordered. We are engraving and cutting the first numbered plates for the first 250 machines. And most exciting, our first production playfield that's making its way down the line. So I don't know if you've seen, but they did actually update the playfield a little bit. So some of the feedback they got was that it was it's so symmetric with the ramps. And
Right.
it still is. I mean, the shots are still symmetrical, but the ramps are not anymore. So the one on the right is a plastic ramp, and the one on the left is a wire form.
But it's still the same shot.
Still the same. It doesn't change the shot.
They changed from they looks like they swapped the plastic out for the wire form in an attempt to kind of the appearance.
It gives the
difference.
illusion that it's not symmetrical,
Right.
And like the return feeds will be different because the one on the left goes back through the back box, and the one on the right doesn't. So it'll feel different when you shoot them.
Okay.
But the shots you're shooting are going to be exactly the same. So I think based on, I mean, obviously we can't judge the code because there was no code on it when we played it, but the kind of the feeling I got when I played this was that there weren't a lot of shots on it. It was just like ramp, and you could shoot it in the middle to start your modes, and maybe you could shoot it back up into the pops. That was about it. So it was like 3 shots and then back into the pops. So just
there was nothing interesting about it, right? Like you look at that play field, and no matter what the code are and the presentation, it just doesn't seem terribly interesting. It feels like a game. The design of it feels like a game from like the 80s, right? When they were just like adding ramps and they're just kind of figuring things out, right? That's how it feels.
System
to me.
11 kind of game.
Yeah, very much so. Which maybe that's what they're going for. Maybe you know, like, and that's fine. And maybe people look at that and they're like, "This is exactly what I want." Doesn't do much for us, but we'll wait until the game's out and hopefully we'll get a chance to play it.
Yeah. Because you know, even a simple layout like Total Nuclear Annihilation with the right code, it can be amazing. So to be determined. I don't know who the programmer is on this or if they have any pinball experience or anything like that, but always interesting and new to see new ideas and new designers and stuff. So hoping for the best out of that. Let's see. What do we got next? Oh, let's do a little tournament talk because you guys love tournament talk, right? IFPA World Championships were this weekend in Italy. I wanted to give a quick shout out to the winner, Johannes. I don't know.
Sure.
Ostermeyer. He's a 17-year-old from Germany.
Wow.
Which is pretty amazing. So congratulations to him. I didn't catch the final game, but everything's been blowing up on social media saying it was an amazing final game on Bram Stoker's Dracula. So definitely go check that out. It was on JL_pinball on Twitch. He was the one that streamed it, and it was much more enjoyable sitting at home watching the stream rather than doing it like we did last year. So huge shout out to him because I like to just sit back and watch streams and not necessarily have to run them all the time. So thank you. And it's no small task pulling off a tournament like that. So we appreciate it from the other side of the world. And next is the Ohio Pin Brewfest. So we got contacted by a mutual friend of the organizers of this show. So this is a new show in Ohio, Northeast Ohio. It's Sky Pilot from Pinside and Marvin, formerly of the Ohio show. It's going to be at the Metroplex Expo Center in Girard, Ohio. So it's April 16th to 18th, 2020. Check it out. If you like pinball and beer, you'll probably like this. That's my objective review.
I like both.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, they see a winning combination, and they're sticking with a proven winner here. So very, very good. Ohio Pin Brewfest. I'm sure more coming from that soon. Pinball Secrets.
So there we go.
This is what it's really all about.
Yeah, that's right.
Pinball Secrets. You can do the honors on this.
Well, if you don't know already, Martha Donovan for
of Buffalo
Pinball and the Bro Show has written a pinball book called Pinball Secrets, where for the value price of $2.99, you can learn all the pinball, at least a good deal of pinball secrets.
It doesn't promise all the pinball secrets, just pinball secrets.
So I suggested this kind of subtitle, a beginner intermediate guide to pinball. And that's the thing. It's a lot of us super pinball nerds will be like, yeah, I get it, right? But this is something for people who are just starting up. I think it's a fantastic resource. You can find it on Amazon.com. It's an ebook, so you can download it, read on your phone, your Kindle, your computer, whatever you want. Very easy.
It's $3 or it's free if you have Kindle Unlimited.
There you go. That's a good deal. I have not read it, so I'm not going to give a review of it wisely enough.
That's very smart of you.
I started reading it, and it had me laughing. Like she writes it in a sort of like a, it's in
a very Martha style.
It's a very Martha style. Yeah. She injects some humor in there, and she has a recipe for CFS, as she calls it, a chicken finger sub. Nobody calls it a CFS ever.
Except that people who watch us are starting to
Most people think like country fried steak, if anything. But Martha has a recipe for a CFS, which is delicious. She made it. What else? She's got a recipe for Speedies in there. Ooh. And if that intrigues you, it's worth, I'll tell you right now, the CFS she made was so good, it's worth the $2.99 alone. You can just skip to that if you know all the pinball secrets.
Pinball and sandwich secrets.
Yeah. But I'm proud of her. She's just like, I'm going to write a pinball book, and within 2 weeks she was done. She's a go-getter.
Yeah. She doesn't mess around.
She doesn't mess around. She does something. God bless her.
All right. Let's talk about Multimorphic. We got a little update from Jerry at Multimorphic. He said they're going to be at Bat City Open June 21st to the 23rd with Network Cosmic Kart Racing. So if you want to play some heads-up kart racing pinball, you can do it there. They also have speaking of heads-up, they have a game called Heads Up, and that will be there as well. It's another networked pinball game. And as well as Lexi Lightspeed will also be in the tournament again.
Okay.
He said they'll also be at Southern Fried Game Room Expo in July. So if you want to go and play some Multimorphic action there, you can do that. And they are hard at work on their next full game. So new play field, new game. Sounded like it's going to be good
Nice.
stuff. They're not quite ready to drop all the announcements yet, but when they do, we'll be sure to give them to you here.
I see on your list it says Deeproot update.
Yeah.
Is there an update?
Is there? Have you seen the Deeproot update?
No.
Oh, this is.
I've had my head in the sand.
Okay.
It's like sort of nice. So
I was kind of hoping you hadn't. So
Okay,
why don't you
here we
sit
go.
back? I'll read the update.
This is what Kevin lives
you
for.
You just take it all in.
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
All right.
So here we go. May 29th, 2019. He says, we know there's a lot of excitement around Deeproot and its mysterious pinball project. We also know there's frustration in how long it has taken to see something, let alone experience the Deeproot pinball difference. If all we wanted to do is compete with existing pinball manufacturers and churn out the outdated and uninspired pinball package as it exists today in the market today, it would have been a much easier path and accomplished years ago.
Can I pause it? There's more to go.
Okay.
I like how this guy's fucking taking swipes at people who are actually making games. You've not made a fucking game yet. I'm sorry. See, this is why I probably need to see this first, because this is how I normally am. You know, and the filter's usually on the podcast. You've not made a game yet, and you're still taking swipes.
Uh-huh.
Stop.
Pinball's easy, though.
Stop. First of all, get a PR person. All right, Kevin, as a PR person, what do you think of just that beginning?
Having your CEO be your spokesperson, usually not a good idea.
No, because that's not this guy's strength, and neither is making pinball machines, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
We got through like 3 sentences.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, he says, we chose a different path. The simultaneous development on hundreds of unique pinball innovations. Hundreds. And tens of titles. They're working on tens of titles, so at least 20 titles.
Fucking kidding me. Holy shit.
Has taken much longer than anyone has wanted.
Who is this madman?
We got 2 more paragraphs to go here. All right.
You know what? By the way, this is. I'm sorry, I had to stop. This is, but you know, this is what happens. This reminds me of a good documentary I would definitely check out. It's called this podcast called The Dropout.
Oh yeah,
with Elizabeth Holmes and on Theranos, and then also the forget what the documentary on HBO is called, but reminds me of that. Trying to these grandiose ideas and accomplishing nothing. It's fantastic. Continue, please.
She also like hired tons of like industry insiders.
Oh yeah,
and,
this is very much
brought
this is
all
like
the people in science.
crazy people. This is crazy town. Okay.
All right, next. The fringe benefit to developing innovative pinball machines is the forced creation of multiple divisions and groups across a wide variety of industries and fields. These would not normally be found in a singularly, relatively small company, which is why Deeproot is unique and uniquely positioned to not only provide a different type of pinball experience, but also a cross-branded and diverse exploration of new concepts, ideas, stories, and experiences. Whew.
Yeah, it's a lot of jargon.
Yep. This will keep Deeproot pinball tied to more popular entertainment choices and trends, and our pinball creations relevant for decades to come. Okay. Last paragraph. There have been endless amounts of speculation in forums or disseminated in the pinball media regarding our pinball project, our finances, and even our separate and independent investment funds, parenthetical, that have been very little to do with pinball. We've definitely had some good laughs along the way at the seemingly endless queue of experts. We will keep on doing what we do best along with the following schedule. So
what do you do best? You've not done anything. Didn't they say in January or December that he was spending $750,000 a month?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And TPF was supposed to be the 5 days of Deeproot.
Yeah, but he's the one who released that $750,000 figure.
So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyways, continue.
All right. June 28th, so this is the timeline going forward. So in June 28th of this year, we will provide Zidware claimants who, 1, filed and perfected a claim, 2, within the prescribed time, and 3, sign/return the goodwill agreements, a choice between extending the delivery date or receiving monetary benefits as outlined in each's agreement. All other claimants' claims or vendors' claims will be thereafter rejected. That is the finale and extent of our self-imposed voluntary goodwill deal to deal with the Zidware situation. So they voluntarily took it upon themselves. I think they kind of had to by bringing J-Pop on.
So that's the first sign of a bad move.
Yeah, to make good on all the money, the pre-order money that had come in for J-Pop's project. So they were under no obligation to do that. So good on them for doing it. But you have to make a decision by June 28th whether you want money or you want to keep waiting and waiting and waiting, hoping for yet another pinball machine that may not get made.
Is this a Shell Corp? I learned about Shell Corps recently. Is that what's going on here?
I don't know.
It's amazing.
You can speculate at home. November 15th and 16th of 2019.
By the way, still no games being made.
He says, at a minimum, several Retro Atomic Zombie Adventureland prototypes will be available to play at
prototype.
the Houston Arcade Expo.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So that's November.
Fall 2019 to summer 2020.
So he's positioning this after November.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you go to November and then back to fall to summer. Knowing exactly when we launch is a valuable trade secret that allows competitors an undesirable competitive advantage. At a minimum, the 5 days of Deeproot will be scheduled, and Raza, Retro Atomic Zombie Adventureland, will be available for sale during this time period. We fully intend to make good on our 2018 Pinball Expo promises. We regrettably did not accomplish in 2019. Robert J. Mueller, Principal. Deeproot Pinball, 12621 Silicon Drive, San Antonio, Texas, 78249. Give them a call, 888-316-2935.
So he's a year late.
Deeproot
And do you
Pinball,
really think it's going to come out on his projected schedule?
Yeah.
This is fucking ridiculous. Like, I'm only coming down hard on this because of the bravado and the bullshit that's been spewed out about how awesome they are and how much better. Like this, again, we've talked about this, but slamming people when you've not even made a... First of all, you probably shouldn't be slamming other people just to come. It's not classy. All right, if you're a pinball manufacturer, have respect for what it goes into, because if you actually make pinball machines, you got to know how much goes into it, right? So maybe not trash even that overtly,
right?
All right, so anyways, he's trashing, saying they're doing it all wrong and how outdated and blah blah blah. Doesn't make anything. So has nothing. Has been sponsoring things and putting their logo on stuff. They don't even have a product you can buy. They've been doing this for well over a year. Now they're saying it's another year until games come out. It's fucking ridiculous.
So there you go.
Yeah.
That's your Deeproot update. Stay tuned.
Anyways, thank you.
Sometime between the fall and summer of next year, you're going to have pinball machines.
Yeah.
Bank on it.
Yep.
All right. Let's go back over here, and then we're going to go to our friend Lee at Pinball Supernova. Wanted to give a quick shout out to Lee. He's been awesome about not only promoting our show, but all of pinball. He's been doing it for years and years and years. This is the original pinball source for news that I would always use when getting ready for pinball podcasts and just to catch up on the latest news. So if you don't follow the day-to-day on pinball, what's happening, and you want to get a quick catch-up, check out pinballsupernova.com. Lee does a great job. So
someone asked in chat what the documentary I was talking about on HBO. I looked up. It's called The Inventor, Out for Blood in Silicon Valley. Just watch that, and you'll know why I brought that up. I mean, it's an amazing documentary. The podcast is great too. It's just, you're just like a lot of WTF moments. It's like the Fire Festival if you saw that, but even better.
I drive a lot, so I listened to the podcast version, and it was enthralling. All right, let's give some Buffalo updates. So let's talk about Pin Duos. We haven't talked about Pin Duos yet. We're a month into it. It's a brand new format that I'm not going to say we're first, but we might be.
Might be. So Masuda Challenge wanted to do they wanted to start up a selfie league, but selfie leagues have sort of been going on the wayside, and we wanted to try something different. Our team league is like a huge success with, we're maxed out on teams, over 60 players that we have in that participating. So we did sort of like a blend and called a Pin Duos, where you and a teammate, you have all month long to play machines and post scores. Let's say Kevin and I were on a team. So even just Kevin can go to Masuda Chow's and play the machines there and post scores. I don't have to be there. But for the finals, the top 6 teams make the finals. For the finals, that it's a split flipper tournament. So something different. We tried it out. Turnout was okay. So we're kind of fiddling with everything. I think we've talked about this. We've sort of reached the saturation point with pinball, where there's so much going on where there hasn't been in the years past. So we're still kind of playing with everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of tournaments. We started when we started Buffalo Pinball. What was it, 6 or 7 years ago now?
In 2013.
Yeah. We were like the only thing outside of New York City for pinball. So we had players coming from all over the state to play in our leagues and our tournaments and stuff like that. And as people came to ours, they were like, oh, we can replicate this in our home. So there's stuff in Syracuse and Rochester, and so players have kind of spread out. And unfortunately, it hasn't really, the base hasn't grown that much. We'll get new players occasionally, but they don't really get hooked.
Well, that's the weird thing. So when we didn't have pinball machines really on location, or it was only in one spot, right? We always thought, well, wait till pinball gets everywhere, and it's sort of almost everywhere, right? It seems comparatively speaking. And we're like, oh my God, it's going to happen. There's going to be our leagues are going to explode, and there's going to be more people coming out to tournaments. It's like nobody. None of the people who are just going and playing pinball, and believe me, they're playing pinball because I'm collecting from these machines. nobody new has been coming out to tournaments and events. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And I think we do a pretty good job of marketing, like more than probably most places do.
Yeah.
So I kind of been scratching my head at that.
Yeah, we try to be mindful of like B division payouts and like letting people play, because inevitably it's like you and I are of the stronger players in the league, and we end up winning a lot. So I think if people see that, they're like, oh, Nick and Kevin are just going to win all the time, so we're not going to come out.
Well,
But
I would say this though, like it's not even people who have come out and then don't return. Usually people come out, our retention rate's pretty decent.
yeah,
It's people, like we don't see a lot of new people coming out.
yeah,
That's the thing. Like no one was like, oh, I've been playing games at Masuda Chow, so I heard about this tournament, that's why I'm here.
right.
Like not one time has that happened.
That happened with Game On.
Game On was good,
That
but
was, like,
we
the one.
sort of knew that,
Right.
Because they're hardcore gamers and like the owners got into it, and again they sort of got their friends group into it.
Yeah, if you get like one person in a new group hook, they'll like start bringing their friends along, and that's kind of how we've seen it grow. Really, is like you get one person really into it, and then they bring their friends and they tell them how cool it is.
That's how it is.
I mean, and Team League is good for that. And we have like 60 people in our team league, but I think like Nick was saying, it's like for most people that's probably enough pinball. The team league.
I think so. Team League is sort of, I think people in pinball look at Pinball Team League as like, well, they do bowling leagues. Like I know people who do bowling leagues and they don't even like really like bowling, but they do it because it's a team thing with their friends.
Right.
You know, people play softball in the summer, or maybe just do a golf league. Like that's what it is. So Pinball Team League, do that in your city if you're not already, because that's a hit.
Yep.
It's just everything else. Like even the people who play in Team League, like there's so many people who don't come out to tournaments. They don't want that individual competitive level. And as you said before, I think the way to get people playing competitive pinball is really at like a grassroots level. Like you need to go up and get your friend or friends to play competitive pinball and bring them and kind of say, it's going to be okay. It's okay. We know you suck. You're not going to win. It's okay. You're going to walk away and you're still going to have a good time. And then they usually get hooked. But getting the random stranger just to walk in and play a tournament seems, at least from us, rare.
Yeah, exactly. So RLM wants to know how Team League works. We can give a quick rundown of how that works. But if you want the full rules, they're on our website, buffalopinball.com. But we have teams of 6 players. At least 4 have to show up. Well, you can get away with 3, but 4 is the minimum you really want to have there. And then we have different rounds. We have one-on-ones. We have doubles where we add up 2 players' scores on each team, and then the cumulative score wins. We have split flipper, and then we have the relay race.
And we can share that. We can make that. We could probably share that with you if somebody really is interested.
I mean, all our rules are on their website.
There you go.
So.
It's on the website. Yeah. So Edaland says in chat, too many people are douche canoes in competitive environments. I just want to have fun. So I get that. Competition's not for everybody, and competition can bring out the best and the worst in people. And some people thrive on competition. It's sometimes pinball to me is only fun when I'm competing. At this point, I need to have something on the line where I know Nate from Coast to Coast Pinball said this a lot, but like what competition or competitive pinball does is like you can take a game that you don't like that much and you maybe never would play that game because the game sucks. Like let's just say Hook. No, not to pick on Hook, but that's the first thing that came to mind. It's not a game that I would go up or want to play if it's in a lineup whatsoever. However, now we have a competition on Hook, and there's we're in a real IFPA competition. There's money on the line, prizes. Now I care. Now that game becomes interesting where I'm thinking about strategy. I'm really concerned and engrossed in the game. So, different folks, different strokes.
Yeah, I like that it makes every game matter. And I will say that, like, I don't know. It doesn't like hold my attention as long as it used to. I don't like get as into it. Like we went to that match play tournament last weekend, and after the first half, I was like, "That's good. I'm kind of good." Maybe if I had played better in the second half, I would feel differently. But the like drive to like play for hours and hours and hours isn't as much for me as it used to be.
No, I'm probably the same way, but I don't know if like that honeymoon's over, or if I think I'm just doing so much in pinball that it becomes exhausting after a while.
Yeah.
So like I'm super looking forward to Pinburg.
Oh yeah.
Right. I'm gonna love, hate every moment of it. And I had fun in the tournament that we went up in Canada a couple weeks ago, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
But I know they're having other tournaments up there, and I'm like, I don't feel compelled to go.
Yeah.
But plus, there's no prize money in those, so also that's another thing that
it's not really a motivating factor for me. But I know, Like for you, it's more of a thing. Like I just want to go. It was cool to go and play 3 hours of pinball and on this crazy collection of 90s games and stuff, which probably inspired me in the back of my mind to do our top 10 thing tonight. But it was cool.
Awesome.
All right, what else we got? We have an announcement. Where is it? It's over here, and we're going to go like that. Buffalo Pinball Summer Camp. So this is a stream weekend where we're going to get almost the entire Buffalo Pinball stream team together. The almost is Mixer Tuna, if you want to yell at him. He's not coming. But Rudy Soup, Skip Natty, and all the Buffalo crew are going to be together for the first time ever in Buffalo, New York, July 5th through the 7th. And you can watch it right here on Buffalo Pinball on Twitch. We're going to be doing a bunch of streaming. Hopefully we can get the 2 J's together. We're going to go out and do fun stuff.
That's all I care about.
Maybe drive some go-karts. Who knows? It's going to be crazy.
It's coming up soon.
Yeah, it's that's why I figured let's announce it tonight.
Yeah, I'm making my dream come true of having Rudy Soup in my house.
There you go.
So
Rudy Soup
he's gonna
house.
stay with Martha and I, and you got Skip Natty, right?
Yes, Skip Natty will be sleeping in the Rush the Rock machines over there as he's wanted. So
yeah,
but yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's something we've always really wanted to do is kind of bring the whole team together because you never get to see us all in one place, but. It's gonna be fun.
Is Ruby coming also? I don't know. I know. I think they were gonna have 2 J's though. 2 J's, 1 stream.
That's right. If you bring G Fuel, Tuna will come. No, if you bring Mountain Dew Game Fuel, there's a distinct difference.
We'll have to shop that name around. Is it J on J stream or 2 J's, 1 stream? I don't know. You guys let us know.
And so that's coming up. Be sure to tune in for that. It's going to be great, but it's going to kick off on that Friday. So 2 J's, 1 stream, says RLM. There you go.
2 J's, 1 stream. All right.
So as we've been talking about the local scene a little bit, let's talk about, we've had some changes in like locations, and you're an operator. If people who don't know, you have a hobby operation group.
Yeah. So it hit the 2-year mark back in last month in May. 2 years of operating pinball machines, and had a lot of successes, but this has been a rough last few months. 2019 has not been good for us for operating. We lost 1 location. It's kind of far out there. It was Ebenezer Ale House, and we just had a couple games there. I think what happened with them is the person who was the owner, he left. There was like 2 partners. He left. The guy that we worked with was the guy who left and wanted the pinball. So once the new guy came in, he's like, we're just going to put a table there. So that happens. Mm-hmm. Okay, fine. We lost another location because another operator who was operating other stuff basically just undercut us and said we can do it for cheaper. So I don't kind of go into pricing and percentages, but we definitely have a model that works for us, and we did a lot of research to make this worth anybody's time. And it's not like they even asked us. They just kind of just said, get your games out of here, which was unfortunate.
Yeah.
And now I think they only have 1 pinball machine at that place. They went from 3 to 1.
Fail.
So I feel like I feel like sometimes these decisions are made like in a vacuum, like with that 1 location, because we had like a team league there, and the percentage or cut that this person's not going to make on those is not going to improve. It's not going to do better than the fact that we were guiding so many people to play pinball there every other week.
Right. So for our team league, you have to have a minimum of 3 pinball machines. So now we just can't do it.
And they're buying dinner and they're buying beer and blah, blah, blah. So that was unfortunate. And then got some crushing news a couple weeks ago. Community Beer Works, unfortunately, no longer has pinball. You may have saw that post on our Facebook page. I made the mistake of just making it very brief, and people sort of overreact down there, which is, when you communicate that way, that's my fault. But it wasn't a falling out. It wasn't a bad thing. They just looked at the space that they had the pinball machines in and decided that they wanted to use that for like parties. They do like a lot of parties, so that's what they're using that for now. But they're still a partner of us in terms of supporting pinball. They were actually supporting our stream before they even thought about having pinball at their place. Mm-hmm. This was like almost 3 years ago now.
Yeah,
they've been a sponsor, so we had a very amicable kind of like, we're not doing pinball anymore, but we support and love you guys. We supported you before you had pinball, and we're going to continue to do that. So, and by the way, Buffalo Pinball is not the same as Buffalo Pinball and Arcade. That's the operating side, and I'm involved in it and 4 other collectors. So it's too bad. I'm a little heartbroken because we loved having pinball at Community Beer Works. Great people work there, great beer. Had a lot of fun events there. So time to move on. There's there might be some good news coming up soon in terms of another place where we're going to have sort of a bulk of machines, but we'll I'll wait till that happens, and then we can announce some good news.
There you go.
But that's operating for you.
Yeah,
the ups,
the life of the
ups and
operator,
downs.
right? Yeah.
The interesting thing is, anytime that I would go into a business and ask them if they want pinball machines there, it's never no, I don't want pinball machines. It's always like it's about space. They're just like, where am I going to put it? So, there's only so much square foot in a venue, and pinball takes up a decent footprint. So,
Yeah.
is it valued? I don't know. So it's always going to happen. Pinball's always going to compete with that. But that's that.
Yeah, that's the life of the operator. So there you go. There's your operating update. Let's give some game room updates. So I'll kick it off. What's been going on in my game room? Not a whole lot, because we're kind of in the summer chill period. During the fall and winter, we go real hard with leagues and tournaments and stuff like that, and I end up hosting at least two league nights here, so I'm always getting ready for that. During the summer, we take the foot off the gas a little bit and enjoy the weather. But I have a funny story where so we're getting a new dishwasher. Stay with me. This is pinball related. We're getting a new dishwasher installed, and the guys came and delivered it on Saturday and dropped it off. And they came in, they're going in my basement, and they're looking around how to hook things up. Long story short, I have to hire a plumber to come in and do some reconfiguration before we can get the new dishwasher installed. But before they leave, they bring in the dishwasher. They drop it in my house, and I had the door to my game room cracked, and they looked, and the guy's like, "Is that a full game room in there?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they came in, they're like, "Whoa!" He's like, "I gotta take some pictures." He's snapping pictures and telling his buddies. He's like, "Look at this place." It's it's.
That's the normal. I consider that a normal reaction, because I've had people do work in my house, and when they come in the basement and they don't even say a word.
Yeah.
Are you seeing pinball machines every day?
This is every
I'm not
basement.
waiting for you to notice, but it's just weird when you're not reacting to something that's not common.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
That's a normal, perfectly healthy reaction.
These guys were like, "Good for you, man." Yeah. That's pretty awesome. These two big dishwasher installer guys were all about it. So that was exciting. Rush the Rock is down there, Jobber. You got a different angle on the room, so I know you're excited about it. So it's still here. What else? I game room related. I got some, and they just arrived today. I ordered some stools for my video games, so you can sit on them. I've been pulling in my shop stool to sit on when I play. I don't have them set up yet.
Okay.
When I play Neo Geo or the Jaguar.
Wait,
kiosk
Kevin's
for
getting
extended
old.
Period.
It's got to sit down.
Well, if I'm going to stand there for 3 hours, I'm not going to stand for 3 hours.
You're playing Neo Geo for 3 hours?
When I stream it, I do.
Oh shit! You're streaming it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So if I want to have marathon sessions, I want to
apologize.
sit down. Plus, it doubles
Makes
as people are here hanging out, another
Yeah.
place to kind of sit down and kick back, especially since you lost your chair.
I did. Fucking loss. It's been a loss. 2022 is a year of loss. Oh,
That's
God.
the thing. So that's it. So they were like $80 for a pair of two from Amazon. So I'll put them together. I'll give you the review next month, but they look pretty cool. And you should also play Rocket League. So Skip Natty and I and a bunch of the other guys have been playing Rocket League. They have an 80s summer thing going on. And I'll play it for you after here. I booted it up today, and it has Kenny Loggins in the menu screen when you first log in. It's pretty amazing.
But that's all right. That
No,
one?
it's Skip Natty said it's the song from Top Gun when they're playing beach volleyball.
Okay. I don't know what
I don't remember that, but
Okay.
it's a solid song. And you can drive an Ecto 1, so there you go. Ghostbusters in your Rocket League. All right, time for your game room updates. That's all I got.
I have no pinball related game room updates, so I'm just to participate in this segment. Let's talk about VR game room updates. So I've not talked about VR in a while.
Yeah.
I had my I wouldn't shut up about it.
Yep.
Kind of honeymoon.
And then you got a subwoofer, and you got all excited about that.
I think I got subwoofer, but then I started playing Overwatch back in the fall, and when I should be playing VR, that was my video game time. So.
Subwoofer, before we move on from that, I did have somebody on stream one day ask me which pinball machine you hooked that subwoofer up to. And I was like, it's not for his pinball machine, it's for his home theater.
This is, yeah. That subwoofer is amazing.
It's pretty good. I got to hear Tron with it.
I don't know if Martha's still in chat. We'll find out in a minute. But I was down in the basement, and I've got like a closet of pinball stuff, and I go in there one day, and on the shelf, it's like all this dust or like debris was like everywhere. I was like, the fuck is this? I was like, is this like the termites or something? Because I've never seen it there before. And then when I'm watching a movie one day and I hear the whole house rattle, I was like, oh, all right.
That's what's going on here.
Yeah.
But she's still
There we
here.
go.
Oh, you're
There
busted.
you go.
House
Well,
is falling
that's
apart.
fine. I was testing to see if she's there. House is falling apart. There goes the foundation. All right. Anyways, I hyped your book though, so we're even.
There you go.
Anyways, VR. Yeah. So what am I doing in VR? Well, here's the deal. If you guys are remotely interested in VR, there's been a couple of releases that have been really good. So Oculus Quest came out. I don't own that.
Tuna has one.
But this is a big deal. Came out at the May 21st, something like that. So it's pretty fresh. And what's impressive about Oculus Quest is that you don't need a computer to run VR, or like Kevin plays VR on his PlayStation, right? And in both scenarios, whether you have a PC or PlayStation, there's a cord that's attached to it. So you got to buy another thing, computer or a PlayStation, and then a headset. Well, this is just all in one. All right. And it's pretty damn good. You can play a lot of the most popular VR games like Beat Saber, Super Hot's on there. They just announced a bunch more at E3. And it's portable. You can take it anywhere you want. And if you haven't done VR before, I think that I figured VR was going to be cool when I tried it, but I was blown away. Like, first of all, with that and also like what you have for PC, you can take the VR headset and like map around your room that you're going to play in. So you'll know your VR headset will know where a wall is. And the games that you play, you can actually walk around in the game and you'll move around in the game just like you would, like if you were really in there. And if you get close to a wall in your room, well, like a kind of grid pops up, chaperone boundary, and lets you know. So super cool. Comes with 2 controllers, and then you see your hands or guns in VR. That's going to be a huge hit. That's like only $399. I think you said Tuna's got one. I think Attack's got one. Mm-hmm. I think that might be what can bring VR to the masses, because right now, since they came out in like 2016 with the Vive and the Oculus Rift, it was just I had to have a good PC, mm-hmm. and then you had to buy like, I think Vive was like $800 when it came out, and Oculus was $600. So you needed a computer that was at least $100, at least like $1,000, and that it's just really expensive. So now it's coming down. Obviously, the Oculus Quest is not as good as a PC, just because like anything, console's not as good. Think of the Oculus Quest as almost like a Switch, mm-hmm. right? It's portable, looks pretty good, not as good graphics, but it's very impressive what they're able to do. So I highly recommend checking that out.
Nice. You don't even need a monster PC anymore.
You don't. But if you're like a VR enthusiast like me, like I'm not going to get the Quest because I've already got something that can play more games. Graphics are better and all that. So in chat, Edelin asks, what about the Valve Index coming? That's other news. So on the other end of the whole entire spectrum, so like the Oculus Quest is bringing like VR to the masses, right? At a low price point, accessibility. The Valve Index is like the best of the best that you can get of VR. It's made by Valve, who runs Steam. If you play PC, you know what that means. Or they made Half-Life. What else has Valve done? Nothing since Half-Life, right?
Half-Life.
That's it.
Half-Life 3 coming soon, yes.
Yeah. So people they're also making VR games for this headset. So people are speculating it might be a Half-Life game or Left 4 Dead or a new Portal.
Portal. Now we're talking.
But the Valve Index is very impressive. Way higher like refresh rate. So people were describing it as being like just really immersive. They've got new controllers, so it knows, like it kind of floats on it latches onto your wrist. So like you don't need to hold on to anything. You can just hold your hands freely open.
That's cool.
But if you like curl your index finger in, it will know that you're curling it in.
Whoa.
It will know when you're making a fist. It will there's like a demo that comes with the headset where they have like a robot and you reach out your hands and then you grip it to shake it, and he's like, no, really shake it, like grip it harder. So like it knows like how hard you're gripping that thing. It's getting really good. Like, so I'm very excited about that. That whole system though was $1,000, and when it went on sale back on I think May 1st, it just sold out instantly.
Wow.
So right now you can get on a wait list, which they said it should ship before September 30th. So this is like high-end enthusiasts, but gamers. So like it's something I'm interested in. I want them to kind of ship first. I want it to be the point where like it will ship immediately when I order it, and then I'll probably pull the trigger on it. But VR is amazing. Again, I can't say that enough. I've been spending a lot of time with that. Check it out.
So
it's at any price point that any of us can afford at this point, from
Right.
the Quest to, you know.
So with the Valve Index, do you need a computer with that as well, or is that a standard?
Absolutely. So it's wired.
Okay.
You need a computer.
Gotcha.
You know, if when we say you need a computer, the entry point for PC VR is like a 970
Okay.
graphics card, which has been out since 2014. You know, like it's not that crazy. You want to have maybe like the 1070, 1080, 280 and above for really good, but you can get away with a 970. So it's there, and people don't know. I don't think they market this well. Windows has their own brand of VR headsets.
Okay.
They stupidly call it Windows Mixed Reality, which confuses people. But the people who make it for it, like, are Samsung, Lenovo, Acer, HP. Like, you can get those headsets now. Like, the one I have is a Samsung Odyssey. You could probably get a used one on eBay for like $200 some, and it's really good. It's as good as like resolution as like the Vive Pro, like the best of the best you can get right now.
Nice.
So very accessible. That's my game room talk.
That's your VR update.
Yeah.
For June.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Cool. All right. So let's get into our top 10 90s pinball machines. That's our feature this month. We're not doing a review. We've been doing a lot of reviews and hot takes and not reviews and thoughts and ideas about pinball machines. We're going to talk about the top 10 90s pins. So you said you sort of had a list together?
No, I have a list.
No, you do. Okay.
I have a list. So, all right.
So
I was reading the chat for a
okay.
minute. So, sorry, yep.
So I'm going to present this as we're not trying to define the best pinball machines of the 90s. We're picking our personal favorite games from 1990 to 1999.
Right. So if our list was trying to define like the best games that came out in the 1990s, it would be a totally different list, I think. Well, not totally different. There's some overlap, but it would be a different list.
Yeah, I know there are some games on my list that would not be on it if we were trying to like objectively say these are the top 10 pinball machines.
Right, because when we factor in things like that, like, you know, a game that might be my favorite is a game that I just find fun to play, period. And I find fun to play at being in pinball now for, I don't know, 8-9 years, right? But the best game might be the best because it's got great sound, presentation, or whatever. It's got something to it. The theme's really good. And maybe I don't find it fun to play anymore. But you're like, well, that's a really good machine.
Yeah, you can't
it's just
deny
not,
it. It's really
just not for me at this point. We're going to go with what is Kevin's favorite games from the 90s and what's my favorite game.
Yep.
All right.
I have a couple honorable mentions too. I don't know if you do as well, but let's start with number 10.
Number 10.
Number 10 for me, it's the first pinball machine I ever owned. It's Steve Ritchie's greatest creation. It's Roller Games.
That came out in the 90s?
1990.
Whoa, that's on the cusp.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yep. So Roller Games, and it just got so one of the big kind of flaws of the game was the code, right? Because it would do that go for the wall, the sudden death, right, just kind of like randomly while you're playing. And now there's an updated ROM that somebody made that makes it one of the awards on the Scoop. So instead of just randomly happening, if you're playing in a tournament and you get the sudden death and you hit the ramp a couple times, it's totally unfair. So they fixed a lot of that, cleaned it up, and it's just like the ultimate cheesy pinball machine. And it holds a special like nostalgic place in my heart. I've actually been considering grabbing another one now that the code is updated because I'd like to give it another go. So
Okay.
it might be another buy for me.
I didn't even consider that game. Nice.
There you go.
I didn't even think of that as the 90s, but yeah, technically it is. Okay.
It's the most best kind of correct.
So I approached this today by not even looking at... I didn't want to look at a list of games that came out in the 90s. I just wanted to kind of pull from my memory. Okay, if I could have any 90s game right now, what was the first one? And then, like, let's say I have that. Okay, what's the next one?
Okay.
And try to do it that way.
I did it the other way. I went and looked at the list and I was like, I like all these games.
Yeah.
And then I narrowed it down from there. So it's interesting.
It's a different approach. Yeah. Because if I saw the list, I might think a little differently, but like, what can I just like close my eyes and wish for right now would appear? And that's why I just want to play that game. So number 10 for me is Monster Bash. Monster Bash, one of the highest rated games, is like in the probably top 3 on Pinside right now. Maybe it's like 3 or something.
Yeah.
Great game, great presentation, great humor, great toys. Everything's good about. Rules are pretty good. It's just too easy at this point. I sort of played it enough. It's a great game for beginners. We reviewed it. I'd sort of want it at number 10, almost at that point, just to have in the collection, but to play it once in a while because it still brings joy playing it. It's just one I can sort of live without.
Okay,
fair
enough.
In some ways.
Yeah. All right, let's go to number 9. My number 9 is Doctor Who. Doctor Who is the game that's been in my collection the longest. I think it was the third pinball machine I had, maybe second. And it just... It was like the original Game of Thrones or Pirates of the Caribbean. It has characters you can select at the beginning that gives you different abilities. It's not a mode-based game. It just has different things you can do in it, if that makes sense. Think of it like a Metallica kind of rule set versus a Walking Dead where you have different modes. But it's just... It's fun, and I never get tired of it. I always come out, and I'm always happy to throw a couple games on it because... it's one of those games where you're not going to get lost in it forever, but if you're playing well, you can have a great game and blow it up. Start hitting those loops, getting the sonic booms. You can go for multi-ball, or you can go for the video modes and kind of try to blow it up there that way. So there's a couple different ways you can attack it, which is what I like.
Yeah, you know what? After I made this list, I thought I don't have Doctor Who on here, and I would almost switch that out for Monster Bash.
It can be an honorable mention.
And not have Monster Bash on this list almost.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather have that just because it's more of a difficult game than Monster Bash is.
And it's unique. Like you don't see, I mean, it's got some similarities to say Pinbot or Jackbot, but not really. They play totally different.
Yeah, so I guess I'm stuck with Monster Bash because I said it and it's official.
Now.
It's on camera. It's recorded.
What's your number 9?
My number 9 is Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Nice.
Brutal game,
Nice.
A very fun game. There's not a lot going on in rules wise. It's not deep, but it's challenging. It's an ass kicker that you can kind of just play and play. And almost because you don't there's no ending to it, you can kind of keep on going. And it's not like I beat it, or it's not a game that you play for 45 minutes and you just never want to play again. It's quick. You can always kind of just jump in and play it, have fun, trying to get all 3 multi-balls going. The sound when you get the all the jackpots. That's very satisfying. It's a cool game.
Yeah, stacking up those 3 jackpots, those 3 multi-balls is where it's at. And it's got the awesome mist multi-ball that hovers the ball across the playfield. It's an awesome toy. So it's
it's a player's game for sure.
You got some bits for Bram Stoker's Dracula. Look at you.
What's that? 10 cents? Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cents. You did.
I'll take it.
All right. Number 8 for me is Johnny Mnemonic.
Okay.
Another game that I used to own. Yeah, played it this weekend, or 2 weekends ago when we were in Canada. It's just this. It's a fast, ass-kicking layout. Super smooth, super fast. It's got the. I know people are like, oh, but the glove. I like the glove because it introduces some strategy into the game.
Yeah.
Because after you play it a while, you learn that it shows you what's in the grid. So if you're fast enough, you can watch for what you want to get, put it in the glove, and strategically use it to kind of advance your position in the game, try to stack things up to make it happen. It's a little unbalanced as far as the rules with the super spinner. That's where all the points are. If you can get it to happen the way you want it to, but making it happen is tough. And it's got an amazing wizard mode. The power down wizard mode is so cool.
Very, very cool wizard mode. And the glove, I don't think you mentioned this, but when you're playing a multiplayer game, you can block what the other player's doing, because when you send the balls down with a glove, that's selecting the jackpots for multi-ball, which is very cool. It's not just the awards that you get on there. You can make it more difficult for your opponent to get the easier jackpots, right?
Or the triple jackpots.
Yeah. It's a very cool game. And normally I would think that I would not like the glove because anything that slows the game down that much. But that game is so brutally fast that the glove is like a welcome relief. So I love that game. It's on my list. It's a little higher. We'll get to it, but great choice. I would love Johnny Mnemonic, especially with the VR theme.
Oh yeah, it's VR. I love the cheesy '90s feel to it too, with the it's got the Windows menu system and the floppy disk on the outlet.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome.
Yeah,
I wish
really
you still
good.
had that. I would buy it off you.
I wish I could own all the pinball machines because I would still have that one.
All right, maybe one day I'll get a Johnny Mnemonic. All right, so my number 8 is Shadow. Shadow's a game that I like a lot. I don't love it. I don't know what it is that keeps me from being like, it's the best game ever and I want it, but I like the unique layout. It's another game that's pretty damn fast. It's got a kind of cool toy. It's a hard game. I mean, I don't think the Shadow's an easy game, so I'm engaged and I want to keep on playing it more and more. So that's my number 8, the Shadow.
Yeah, it's got a lot going on in it, and it actually didn't make my list. I used to own one, and it was just kind of like once it left, I was good with it. I don't really I play it every once in a while, and I'm like, it's all right, but I don't have that urge to own it again.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to number 7. My number 7 is Creature from the Black Lagoon. It's a great theme. The theme itself, Creature from the Black Lagoon, it's like, the 50s monsters movies, but the integration of the drive-in movie theater and that whole the atmosphere of it is, I think it captures the atmosphere of a game like no other one really does. It's got some cool rules. It's not a super deep game. Spell and film is relatively easy, but stacking it all up to get that super jackpot, that's kind of where it's at. But this game really excels on theme and theme integration, I think.
Okay. I don't have that on my list at all.
There you go.
Not a huge fan of that game. So my number 7 is Congo.
Nice.
Congo is kind of an easy game. I got to the point where I was borrowing years at one point, and I was just seemingly getting to the end pretty regularly. But the shots in that game are so damn smooth. I just love hitting them. It's a fun game. I like the idea of collecting the diamonds, and I don't know. I think the shots do it for me. The volcano's cool. It's a good game. It's gotten really expensive for what it is. But,
Congo's my number 6 as well. Or moving up, I got it one spot higher on my list. Nice. So we can keep talking about it. But yeah, again, another game I used to own that I wish I still had. But it's a great layout. Fun rules, got cool call outs.
Yeah.
Terrible movie, great pinball machine. There's a correlation there in the 90s for some reason. But it's one that every time I play it, I have fun, and I'm like, kind of wish I had it. But you're right, it's easy. But there's some really interesting stuff like the plunge to the out lane for the super skill shot, and it's got that mode where you're trying to intentionally shoot it out there. So it's some really clever rules, some interesting innovations for the early mode based games.
Yeah, I think if I owned it, I just had to find ways to make it really, really hard. Like maybe the one that I had that was babysitting of yours just wasn't set up as hard as it could have been.
Yeah.
I mean, it was set up by default, but there's maybe things I could have done.
Hippos, exactly.
Yeah.
RLM and Skip Natty knows what's up.
Okay,
there you go. All right, so that was my number 6.
That was your 6. All right, my number 6 was Twilight Zone. So Twilight Zone is
nice.
like, it's still I think in the top 3 on Pin side.
Yeah, great game.
It's game is chock full of toys, a lot of stuff going on. I don't think I'm really a stop and go kind of guy, so I think that's why maybe it's not higher. But I have a ton of respect for the game. I find it fun. I find it interesting. Loaded with rules, loaded with modes. Just the presentation of getting jackpots on there, the music, a lot to love about it. Again, it's not my style of game where it's stop and go. I don't really like those games that much, but Twilight Zone's so damn good. That's my it's my number 6.
There you go. Number 5 for me is another Pat Lawler game. It's Funhouse. So Rudy, if you like some creepy clowns in your pinball machines, you might like Funhouse. That's another one I remember playing growing up and just being like, wow, there's a talking head in this pinball machine, and it's still fun to do. It's not a mode based game, but it's a great layout. I have a fun time playing it. Not super deep, but that's one of those games like I could imagine it being a DMD game. It's so kind of late in the alphanumeric lifespan, but that's my number 5 is Funhouse.
All right, so I don't have a Funhouse on my list.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, good choice nonetheless. I thought about it, but just doesn't never considered owning one ever.
I had a hard time. Like, there's stuff I left off this list, and I was like, I want to have that on there too, but I can only pick 10, so it's tough.
Yeah. All right. So my number 5 is No Good Gophers.
Ooh,
I'm really partial to that game.
there you go.
I find it tough to back it up.
It's the cute little gophers, isn't it?
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Like I like games that have humor in it. I think it's just a fun game to have.
That hole-in-one shot is cool too.
Yeah, hole-in-one shot's cool. I grew up playing golf. I mean, I don't know how much that moves it for me on theme-wise, but it's funny, man. It's a funny, cool game.
Yeah, and
it's lighthearted. So go for No Good Gophers.
It's the original Pat Lawler flow game, really.
Yeah,
before Dialed In. But yeah, that one didn't make my list either, but another great one. Can't go wrong with that one. All right, number 4 for me. This might be a controversial pick at number 4, but for me, it's Medieval Madness.
Okay.
So it's like it's probably the number 1 game on Pinside. But Medieval Madness. I love the theme. I'm a Monty Python fan, so I like the it pays tribute to Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Very funny, Great layout, cool toys. Probably one of the best toys ever in pinball. That castle that explodes. I remember it just blowing my mind the first time I saw that happen. But yeah, you can't go wrong. Medieval Madness, not my number one game though.
Not your number one game. I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
we don't talk about Medieval Madness a lot. I think we all have respect for it, but we don't own it.
Right.
We could, but we don't. So, in fact, I don't have any 90s games. By the way, I should say that at the top. I own no 90s games. We've talked about before, I really like more modern games that kind of push the envelope on rules.
Yeah.
90s games are special. I have a ton of respect for it, but we've learned a thing or two in 20 years time, right? So that's where I'm at with that. So it was fun making this list, but it was a little challenging.
Yeah.
I couldn't just look in my basement and see what I had.
Right.
All right. So my number 4 is World Cup Soccer. I love this game. I think... I was almost tempted to put it at number 1 because I say once in a while, man, I wouldn't mind having a World Cup Soccer. Like if I had a Williams Bally, it would be World Cup Soccer. I don't know why I put this at 4. It was a tough call, but there's some things lacking about it. It's still pretty limited basic. I got to the end, but I like the fact that there's like a wizard mode for and there's a reward for doing well in multi-ball. I think things like that are cool, like how you progress through that and score the goals, and also traveling the cities and stuff.
Yeah.
Great game. It's a game that you might beat and get bored with, but I think it's just a lot of fun. I like that.
And it's got Tim Kitzrow in it.
Kaboom!
Oh, he's in that game as well.
He go! Right? That's him, right?
I think
It's got to be. Best call out. Skip Nato.
I think so.
It. All right.
Okay.
What are we up to? Number 3? Yeah. So my number 3 is Whitewater.
Oh, I forgot about Whitewater.
Oh, boy.
I don't think about that game enough, but I like it a lot.
That game.
Yeah, I know.
So fun.
I know.
What's up, Pinball Howard in chat? Just resub. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, so Whitewater. I know we've talked about it on stream before, but for my top 90s pins, has had to be in there, man. I love it. It's such a cool layout, so many ramps, so much flow. I just have a blast every time I play it. It's got an upper play field that is not a slog. It like goes up there and it gives you 2 shots to hit. You either hit them or it drains. You're not up there a long time. It's got the cool multi-ball. I've never like stacked up all the things to get vacation multi-ball or any of that, but so that tells you like there's something challenging there, right? Because I've played that game quite a bit. I've never owned it, but there's a lot to do there. And getting the 5 times play field and then hitting those jackpots, man, that's good. That's
wow. I feel like my list is messed up because I don't have a Whitewater on it.
Oh,
I don't know where I would take off or where I would put it, but I feel like it should be high like yours.
Yeah.
And that was your number 3?
3, yeah.
Whitewater's a really good game.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 3 is Johnny Mnemonic. I love Johnny Mnemonic.
Nice.
I again, it's one of those games that I thought, like I don't have any 90s games. If I were to own one, I thought this over the past year, it would be like World Cup Soccer, Johnny Mnemonic. Again, just kind of went over the high points of that game earlier, so nothing else to say, but love one of those at some point.
Yep. Can't go wrong with Johnny. All right, we're up to our top 2. This is kind of a toss-up for me, but my number 2 was Attack from Mars. Attack from Mars is kind of like the whole package when it comes to pinball. It's got cool fan layout, great shots, fun rules where you're trying to like stack up all the things and get the total annihilation, all that fun stuff. It's got cool toys, great theme, art, music. It's a great game. I can't say enough good things about Attack from Mars.
Okay, my number 2 is Medieval Madness. Thought kind of long and hard about that. Like I mean, it almost seems like it's an overhyped game, and sometimes you kind of got to bring it back down to earth.
Yeah.
And I don't have Attack from Mars on my list, and because I thought I don't want both of those on my list because they're too similar.
That's funny. Yeah.
And they just sort of waste the space, right? Like I would just have one of those if I had like to own 10 of these games from the 90s because too similar in my opinion. I think to me, Medieval Madness is the better game. I think shooting up in the castle can get a little boring, but you don't have
the
to.
saucer, you mean? Oh, you're talking about medieval. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was talking about
shooting the
Attack from Mars.
castle.
Sorry.
But you don't always have to do that. I mean, you can approach it during multi-ball. There's lots to shoot for. I think the humor's more is better in Medieval Madness. I like the theme of like the castle better. I think the rules have a little bit more depth to it. So it's just, to me, it is an improved version on Attack from Mars. I've sort of gone back and forth over time.
Yeah.
Because I sometimes think just shooting up in the castle is boring. But again, you don't have to play it that way. Yeah, I think it has more for me. So that's like, they're almost interchangeable in some ways, but Medieval Madness, at the end of the day, if I had to have one, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
To me, I would throw Attack from Mars, Medieval Madness, and Monster Bash all in the same
I
boat.
know. That's the weird.
I do not want to have all three of those on my list.
Well, yeah, here, I know. I thought the same thing. And with Monster Bash is a shorter playing game that's easier. Like Medieval Madness, I don't think I've never beaten one. I've never beaten it.
It's deeper.
And it's deeper than AFM. So I think that's a good representation on there.
Yeah. Ruling the Universe is not easy, though, either.
I would definitely take out Monster Bash though for Whitewater and reposition the things.
Yeah,
but I'm with you on that.
When I got to like my narrowing it down to what I came to, I was like, all right, let me think about what I would want to have in my game room. And I was like, I would not want to have all three of those games in my game room because they're too similar. But I would have Attack from Mars and Medieval. So I think like 2 of the 3 is okay, but like all 3 is
for me, it's one of the 3.
Yeah.
And when I look at 3 of them, I have to give the nod to Medieval Madness.
Yeah.
Even though I know RLM says cast all day. Yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things you got to do to beat the game.
Yeah.
But you can at least break it up so you don't have to just do that
Grind
approach.
it. Yeah, exactly.
But I know I've complained about it before. Shooting the castle is like not the best, but it offers more than those other games, I think.
We're down to our number 1.
No one's ever going to see this
90s
coming
pinball
for
machine.
mine.
No, me neither.
You got a weird one in there too?
No.
You don't?
No, it's Addams Family.
Oh, I forgot all about that game.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the ultimate nostalgia pin for me. It was the machine I wanted before I ever got into pinball. I said some days I will own one of those, and thankfully I was able to find a very nice edition of it.
Yeah.
Nick didn't even think about it for the top 10.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of shows it's a very polarizing game.
Well, let me ask you this. You said you wanted it before you got into pinball. It's a nostalgia thing. Do you think if it wasn't a nostalgia thing, you would still feel the same way about Addams Family?
I doubt
Because I
it.
don't have I don't have any of the nostalgia. I look at it purely from a pinball nerd.
Yeah.
Like rules, layout.
Scoop ramp.
I respect the hell out of the game,
Yeah.
but I just have absolutely no desire to own it.
Yeah.
I like playing it
Yeah.
here and there, but again,
For me, it's every time I play it, I have fun. And even if I can get to Tour of the Mansion every time, I don't care.
That's good.
I want to turn it back on and do it again tomorrow. So
yeah, that's awesome. I forgot about that game.
That's hilarious.
I can see it right there.
Yeah. There it is. So Addams Family, number 1 for me.
All right.
What's your number 1, Nick Lane?
My number 1, which surprise, is Tommy.
Oh,
It's my
Tommy.
favorite 90s pin is Tommy. I had one because I babysat one years ago for a while. Absolutely love the game. I love the way the game shoots. I like that you can stack the modes. There's a lot of modes in it. The music's catchy because it's from the musical, so you kind of get in your head. I like the way the game looks, like this sort of all yellow cabinet theme. It's Tommy Pinball Wizard. It's cool. Love Tommy. I don't know what it is about that game, man. I love that game so much. It's so much fun. I think the trick with me in that game though is finding like a really nice Tommy. Like I don't want just any Tommy. Like we have on location, it's fine. But there was this is going back probably like 5 years ago, but Matt Hessen Binghamton, he had one. It was like the nicest Tommy I ever saw, and it was an ass kicker. It looked like it was brand new out of the box, and it was such a pleasure playing that game. Super hard, super fast, just beautiful. Like I would love to own that one. I'd be very happy with it.
That's one of my honorable mentions. It's a great game. And like I said to Nick, I was going through this list. I was like, there's so many good games that came out in the 90s. It really was the golden age of pinball. I mean, I think we're doing great now, but for a 10-year span, there was just so many games that could have made this list that didn't. And we got ones coming up in chat like Tales of the Arabian Nights or Circus Voltaire. And Nick had Shadow on his list. We did get a J-pop game in there with World Cup Soccer.
Yeah, so. I forgot. I totally forgot about Indiana Jones.
No, Demolition Man.
As they mentioned, I like Demo Man. I consider Guns N' Roses, but not in top 10 for me. Indiana Jones, I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan. It should have made my top 10.
Yep.
But I try to approach it just from like, okay, gun to my head, what's going to come out at that time.
Right.
I don't want to want to overanalyze it, and those are the ones.
Yep. So on my honorable mention list was Monster Bash, which we've talked about a lot. Hoops, which is a great street level.
Oh, that is 90s.
Game.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
super fun. Not a lot to it.
I don't think it holds it to like the more modern, modern 90s, but the DMD 90 games, right?
It's just fun.
Can't compete.
Shadow, which we talked about, Twilight Zone, Jurassic Park, and Judge Dredd were on my honorable mentions list. So there you go. So No Fear was also another one. Skip Natty said. Tons and tons of great games in the 90s. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, they're all going up in price too. So you can't. There's not like bang for the bucks anymore.
Yeah, they're the price. You might as well just get a brand new game.
Right.
Seriously.
For a lot of
So that's the thing. So they're like not even a consideration anymore.
Grinder says No Fear. That was his favorite.
Okay.
Dad sold it. So I'll never live that one down. That's the one when he gets older, he can buy it for himself.
Oh,
Get
that's your
himself a
son?
Yeah.
He's XP Grinder?
Yeah.
He's watching this?
He can get himself a No Fear.
Okay. All right.
Amazing.
Okay.
All right. So that concludes our top 10 90s spins.
Let's wrap this up.
If you got your top 10, you want to throw them in the YouTube comments if you're watching on
Tell
YouTube.
us how stupid we are. I can't wait to see that.
Bring it on. Or you can email talkpinball@gmail.com.
In private. But what's the fun? If you tell people publicly how stupid they are,
Well,
how
but
wrong
then
they
we'll
are.
read it on the next episode.
Oh, okay. That's true.
And then we can personally
true.
say how stupid we are.
XP affiliate.
Yeah, XP made affiliate.
What does that mean?
It means he can make money on Twitch now.
Oh.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know these kids.
All right, let's close this baby up. So you can follow us on social media, all down there if you're watching. If you're not watching and you're just listening, we're Buffalo Pinball on everything. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And you can check out our Discord group. And you can chat with us in between. You can play Rocket League with us or whatever. You can email, like we said, talkpinball@gmail.com. Feedback, thoughts, hype, whatever. You can follow and sub us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Buffalo Pinball. It's our main home on the internet. If you got an Amazon Prime subscription you're not using anywhere else, it's a free way to support the channel. Would really appreciate that. And we also have a Patreon, patreon.com/Buffalo Pinball, where you can support us at your own whatever level you want. It could be $1 a month. It could be $5 a month. You can throw us $500 a month.
That's right.
$1,000 a month, $10,000 a month, whatever you want. What more could you want than to give us $10,000 a month, right?
Yes.
How was that?
Yes.
Sales pitch? Did I do it?
Yes.
All right. So until next month, let's play one of these.
Yeah, Kevin put money to good use with his Stream Deck soundboard that he's playing with. So
That's right.
It's well worth it.
Kaboom!
All right.
All right. Until next time, what's
Peace.
up, pinball players?